All right, y'all, $1 million worth of thread. I had just ordered some transfers, and I'm doing the numbers, and for the images that I print out, which are large images, it's about $6 a transfer. Um, and I spend about $300 a month on transfers, which makes me say it does about 50 shirts. Um, so that makes me about $1,500 to $1,700 a month, which really is probably about $1,000 to $1,100 profit, really, off the 300. Those numbers are enough. Just the fact that I spend $300 a month, like that's enough for me to buy a printer. The printer will pay for itself, right? And this is me just speaking on what I do. This is not customers bringing me or me printing orders for customers. This is for my personal brand. What I'm making off of my personal brand, not people coming in and ordering transfers or left chest logos or whatever the case may be, or half chest and so forth. The numbers will be different. But brand wise today, people like full prints, man. People like 20-inch wide prints. They like to see the shirt full. But anyway, that's something else. But that's a jewel for you, for those who are doing that. But I so I was thinking about it. Like, hey, well, should I get a bigger? Should I start printing these things out myself? should I hook my printers back up? And I could to save some money, but it's still, even at 50 prints, you need 50 prints a month. That's not enough. All right, even if you got a small desktop printer, if you're only printing out, that's about what, 1.75 prints a day. That's not enough to keep that print head from not clogging. It's not enough. You probably need 3 times that. You probably need to do at least 200 to 300. 300 will put you at 10 prints a day, which could probably, if you got for a desktop, you could probably keep that desktop running. If you're doing 10 to 20 prints a day, you could probably maintain that desktop and with your maintenance and keep that running. Try to keep that head. Try to get 6 months out of that print head. But if you only doing 2 prints a day, the time you're spending, unclogging that print head and doing the time you spend it on the maintenance, the print, you done doubled the time on the print. You spending an hour with maintenance to do, and I'm talking about maintenance because you gotta do maintenance when you start, during the day maintenance, and when you shutting the printer down maintenance. So it's about an hour of maintenance a day in that printer. You just printing out one sheet. That's not productive. It's not productive. And you need to still be buying a transfer. So even at me at even now at me at about 50 transfers a month, it's not worth me buying those big printers, because let alone the small ones, let alone me, I got 2 small ones, but let alone me cranking up the small ones, spending that time fooling with that printer, it's not enough. So even if you can afford to buy, like even now I can afford to buy it and it will make the money back, but I don't have the customers to maintain a big printer. And that's the thing, those are the only printers worth buying. Do not buy no desktop printer. Do not buy no L18. Don't buy no desktop. If it can sit on a desk, do not buy that printer. I'm sorry. Don't waste your money You not starting no business with them little bitty printers. All right, they too slow, they're not productive enough, and they're gonna give you too much trouble to be putting out 3-4 prints an hour. Okay, so don't even do it. I don't care if it got the little roller with it, all that trash is trash. A lot of these influencers who's trying to push these printers, they know these printers are trash. I seen one influencer, the company stopped selling the printer. They just stopped selling, saying, well, we didn't know, we didn't have a good way to tell people how to keep them printers, pretty much how to keep the printers running and how to keep the white ink from clogging up. And you can't. The only way to keep them from clogging up is to keep them running. And even then, like just it being down for 30 minutes, ink is drying up. Eventually, the little screens that filter the ink through the manifold has a screen on the print head. I had to show you all that stuff. And the dampers get clogged up. And the wet cap station, everything gotta be moist. Everything gotta stay moist. Once things start drying up, you let these things dry, and they naturally gonna dry, depending on the temperature of the air, the humidity in the air. And if the air too dry, then the ink start drying faster. It's like a lot of stuff that can be problematic, especially if you're not keeping them things running. And so if you got a business that can keep, or you got the clientele that can keep them printers running for 6 to 8 hours a day, then you need a big printer. Okay, or at least 4 hours. You need at least 4 hours worth of printing a day. And if you got that many customers coming in, you can do that yourself. You can do it yourself. So I would find a company with a low price, and I would maybe even contact them, set up a website, and let them middleman through them until you build your client up. And then once it's built up, then you can jump out there. Or you have your print shop, and you have customers coming in. You already have a good client base, and so you can start running and then set up your shop. So you can use it for your shop, and you doing excuse me, y'all, I rubbed my eyes. I ate some with some hot sauce on my eyes, so if it's stinging. You have some, you already have the client coming in because you established print shop, and so you just added another tool to your belt. And people who are buying certain things from you, now they can buy transfers from you, and get them pretty much the same day or next day, especially if it's local customers. If you can get those things out to them the same day or next day, people, they're going to come to you. Your local customers are going to come to you rather than trying to order them somewhere else, even if it's a little higher, because you could give them prints the next day. I got a shop that, even though I know another shop that prints better, but it takes them 2 to 3 days to ship out so it takes seven business days for me to get the transfers, rather than a company that's semi-local. It's about 2 hours from me, that can give me those things in next day. Like I can order, matter of fact, I ordered Friday morning, and I got them Saturday. You see what I'm saying? And so even with that, you can middleman that situation. See what I'm saying? So it was just a DTF talk. I know I haven't talked to y'all a lot about DTF, but DTF talk, and we give you the numbers. We give you the numbers to play with, to start thinking about, because a lot of times, man, we be out here making stuff and we don't really know what we making. You making, but you don't know what you're making. You know what I'm saying? You making product, but you don't know what you're making from making the product. You know what I'm saying? So you evaluate what you're making and evaluate the time that it takes to make these things, and where you want to be before you start jumping into new products. A lot of people gonna be selling them DTF machines too, because they gonna get out of frustration. Those DTF machines, you gonna catch them things, you can catch them dirt cheap, because a lot of people are gonna lose them out of frustration. A lot of people gonna sell them because they absolutely frustrated, and they do not want to buy another print head, or another motherboard, or another wet cap station. All right. Hope y'all be blessed.